Well, the matter will continue to be heard in court on Monday. Let's speak now to Director for Litigation Management Services at the City of Johannesburg, Tlou Montja. Thank you so much for your time. It's a hotly contested issue. We've got to have the balance of informal traders, their livelihoods, but also the city implementing what it says is the law. Take us through the timeline and essentially why it's also taken the city so long to start implementing this regulation, essentially, of cleaning up the metro.
Okay, thank you. Also, I forgot your name, by the way.
Veronica.
Veronica, and good morning to the viewers of 405. Firstly, I want to deal with the issue of City of Johannesburg treating informal traders unfairly. We support informal trading. We recognize that without informal trading in the City of Johannesburg, there will be no economy. The issue of city enforcing the bylaws, we have been enforcing the bylaws as far as 2013. Even now, we are continue to enforce the bylaw. De Villa Street, we are enforcing. Inner city, we are cleaning. We did not take so long to clean the city. We have been doing so. However, the informal traders refuse to comply with the city's bylaws. That's where we are.
So I understand from you that the mayor says this is, of course, in efforts to restore the city, but the traders are, of course, arguing that their rights are being violated. From your understanding, how strong is their legal argument, given, of course, the Constitutional Court's previous stance on informal trade?
The 2013 Constitutional Court judgment, it says the city must not interfere with lawful traders. So in this case, the traders who are trading at the villas, they are unlawful. They have not been verified. They have not been issued with what you call permits. Therefore, we are saying for us to comply with that order, they must then come and submit themselves for verification. What we have done on the 2nd and 5th of October, we enforced the bylaw. JMPD arrived at the scene 4 o'clock in the morning. We did not remove anyone. What we said, okay, you are an informal trader, produce your permit. Have you been allocated to trade in this particular space? If not, then you are trading unlawfully. Go to number 66 Jordan Street for verification and, of course, allocation of trading site. They are refusing to do so. So what we are saying we don't have a problem with those who are verified, those who are trading legally. So, in fact, as we speak now, you have other informal traders who are trading, who went to the City of Johannesburg, they got verified, they were allocated space. What SERI and informal traders are doing, they want the city to surrender the villas so that the bylaw, the current CoJ bylaw on informal trading does not apply in that area. And we are saying no, the bylaw applies within the City of Johannesburg. Even in their case, they are not challenging the existence of the bylaw. They acknowledge that the bylaw is there. They acknowledge that the policy is there. However, they are saying you as the city should not enforce this bylaw. And we're saying it cannot be.
And I want to talk a little bit about that permit system. Some of the traders who were, of course, protesting outside the High Court on Friday said, look, some of them have had permits, others have, essentially lapsed, and said that they have gone to the City of Johannesburg to try and renew these permits. Some of them saying, in fact, they've had some of these old ones from about 2012, but they have not been able to renew it. How much of this is also the City of Johannesburg's own administration failures? How much of this is also a self-created mess?
Well, that is not correct to start with. On Friday, when we were in court, we've made an offer to the informal traders to say, we have got a system, submit yourself for verification. You will then be issued with a trading permit, and thereafter you will then be allocated a trading space. Then we then said, look, we can undertake this process within a period of 21 days because we understand that your clients or informal traders are currently not trading because they are not verified. We don't know who is who trading where, and if that particular person is whatever is trading goods that are lawful or not. So they are refusing to do so. That narrative is incorrect at all. We are available. We call them to say, come, we are prepared to work over the weekend so that we can verify and issue them with permits so that they can start their trading at allocated trading space.
And many of these traders earn as little as, 500 to support their children and to put food on the table in a country where unemployment remains stubbornly high. Does the city truly sympathize with that reality?
We do. Hence, we are saying we are available. They must submit themselves at number 66, Jordan Street, Braamfontein, for verification. They are refusing to do so. And in fact, something strange happened on Friday when we were in court. We tabled an offer, and that offer was in principle agreed. But the moment when we said during this process of verification, we are going to involve Home Affairs to deal or to assist the city insofar as verifying the legitimacy of the passport, then they said, no, we are not going to submit ourselves to Jordan. Then you then ask yourself, why? Why are they not submitting themselves? What is it that they're afraid of? Yeah. And they are saying they are about 200. In their court papers, we are dealing with about or over 500 traders. Then you can imagine 500 traders trading in one street, dealers. Are we then causing anarchy if we then allow them to trade in that street?
And I think you bring up very valid points. The issue of overcrowding in the city of Johannesburg. We know as well that in the CBD, the issue of counterfeit goods is also something that is quite prevalent in the streets. There's also a safety concern. Many residents can speak about being around those vendor areas and being pickpocketed. Definitely very valid concerns. But having to clean up the city in the manner in which this is done, I mean, informal trading, vendors, it's the heartbeat of the CBD. It is what makes Johannesburg. How practical and how possible is it to even continue with this campaign? Some are arguing that it is something that could possibly not even be done because there isn't the necessary infrastructure as well. Is it even possible to do this cleanup?
Well, it is possible. We might call it cleanup, but it's law enforcement. We've got laws in the City of Johannesburg. Those laws must be enforced. It cannot be that because of one needs to earn a living, then we must not then enforce the law. We acknowledge that informal trading plays a critical role in the economy of City of Johannesburg. And we are saying we cannot allow lawlessness to happen in the City of Johannesburg. So we are saying, come verify yourself, we'll then allocate you a trading space. Then you trade lawfully so.
Yeah. Well, you're going back to the court tomorrow. The High Court, of course, if it does side with the traders and declares that the evictions are unlawful, what would be the implications for the city?
Well, to start with, it's unfortunate that this matter has to be resolved through a court process. Initially, we received a letter from their lawyers, Seri, listing what happened on the 2nd and the 5th of October. We then wrote to them to say, look, we recognize the Concord judgment of 2013 and we will abide by that judgment. However, we will continue to enforce the bylaw because our bylaws were not set aside by the Concord. In fact, in paragraph 34 of that judgment, Justice Musaneke indicates that the city is allowed to enforce bylaws insofar as it relates those who are trading illegally so. Then we then invited them to a meeting on the 17th of October to say, look, this matter can be resolved through engagement, not through court process. They agreed to that process. On the 16th of October, they then serve us with court papers without informing us that they are no longer participating in that engagement. So on Friday again, the judge encouraged the parties to negotiate and mediate. We spent most part of the day engaging and mediating with lawyers for informal traders, which they then refused our offer to say, there's a process, go and verify yourself. From after verifying, you get allocated a permit. From a permit, you then allocated a trading space. They refuse. Tomorrow we are back in court, and again, it is unfortunate that it can go either way.
And what are you hoping for?
Well, we are hoping that the court or the judge will uphold the rule of law.
All right. Well, that was the Director for Litigation Management Services at the City of Johannesburg, Tlou Montja, speaking, of course, about the reality. It's a balancing act, livelihoods of thousands of traders, but also the rule of law in Johannesburg.